And here we are, ready to get started on our next roll reveal. This one is number 760. It's this original 1954 D roll. And what was it, a Fed Reserve? Yeah, Fed Reserve of Chicago. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one apart and get started. And when you show up, I'll say hello. There's a lot of people doing supper at this time of the evening, I guess. And for me, well, I'm all alone, so supper is whenever I decide to eat it. I finish getting this picked apart, and I'll take these out. We'll start looking through them, see what's in there. There we go. All right. 1954 D. Got a few pretty nice ones that we could be looking for in here, including RPM number 1, which is a D over D over D, north and south. And when you get it in the earlier die states, it tends to be more attractive, thus more valuable, because you can actually see the definition of the southern mint mark that you cannot see in later die states because it wears off. So here's our first coin of the evening, and it is pretty nice 1954 D, I would say. Hey, Coin Junkie, Dan, how you guys doing? Let me lighten the load up just a little bit here for visibility. There we go. Not seeing anything around the date and the mint mark here on our very first coin of the evening. Let's keep taking a look around, see what else we can find. I am going to be looking into the reverse on the first 10 coins of this roll. Thereafter, if we don't find anything in that first 10 coins, we won't be looking at reverses any longer. Reverses are not well known for having anything on 1954 Denver Lincoln cents. So we'll take a good look at the first 10. Beyond that, we'll just be looking at the obverses. I've got, I think it's 3 shows scheduled for this evening. And the reason I only have 3 shows scheduled for this evening is because I'd be getting past 9 p.m. Eastern. And, well, that's getting a little late. I may schedule another one if things are going well and I'm doing well and we can continue. But I've got about a 3-show limit at a string before I have to take a break. I think that limit's probably going to hit me right around the middle of the third reveal. Okay, got nothing going on this one either. That's coin number 2. Coins are not highly impressive, but they are decent uncirculated 1954 D Lincoln cents. Coin number 3 now. They're not going to be graders. Graders require an MS67 red on 1954 D to really have any value. The 66 reds, they've got some value, but they're not especially going to break the bank when it comes to all the fees that you pay to get them graded to begin with. Just kind of taking a good sweep across the reverse of these. I'm looking for anything thick, anything doubled, anything that should not be there. So I'm seeing nothing there. And that's coin number 3. Now let's take a look at coin number 4. That'll be for Sureg. And Sureg, the first coin is not going to have anything on it. So we have a decent but not variety-laden roll here. Looks like coin number 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing at all. Let's move on up to coin number 5. The coin vault. Let's see what the coin vault gets. And I believe this is his first coin. And I don't see anything of particular interest on this one, unfortunately. I like for everybody who comes in for their first round to get something, but It doesn't look like we're going to be able to fulfill that promise this time around. Well, make that wish a promise. There we go. Of course, I don't promise anything to anybody in these because I don't look through them before we go through them as a group. So, 'tis what it is, I guess. Shinbone, up next. Here we go. Well, we've got a mint mark that's way up close to the date, almost touching the date, but doesn't look like there's anything about it that says anything special that would translate into hold on to me. I do see an outline here. That doesn't amount to anything. I was thinking maybe I could have been seeing a double die right in this area, but I'm finding out that's pretty much just reflection off the side of the wheat. It could be machine doubling, but I don't think it is. I think it's just an odd reflection that we're looking at because of the angle of lighting and other things. This would actually be the front of the vest underneath the date area. That's a clash mark showing through there. Hey, Coin Vault. I just looked at your first coin. Pretty nice coin, but there's nothing there. But we're going to keep doing it and see what we can find. There's an entire roll to go through here. There is an RPM. Nice little split upper serif RPM right there. It's probably got a lower serif split too. It might, but I can definitely see that upper serif. A little defined line that shows up splitting right through the middle of the serif. So that will be our first RPM for the roll. And that goes to Carl. Let's see what else I have going on the rest of this coin. Well, nothing, just like usual. But we do have an RPM. Coin number 8 now for Trip. And Trip has... Crank it around this way and see if I can see a split lower serif there. No. No split on the lower serif. No split on any upper serif on this one. And so we keep moving. Really nothing much known except for RPMs on 54D. I think there are a couple of really minor double die obverses that involve the D and possibly doubled eyelids, which would be kind of, well, sort of an expected thing for this particular era of Lincoln Cent. Taco John up next. Taco John gets this. It's another nice example of that one die that the D is just way too close to the date, but there's nothing else on the design of the coin to be alarmed about. So we took a good look at it, and we move on. All right, on to coin number 10. This will be the last one that we'll look at the reverses on here. Be in mind, however, we are going to be going through this roll at least one more time, and we will be looking at both sides of every coin. So do not think that we're going to skip over anything just because it's not the norm to look for it. We look for everything at Copper Coins. We are your everything looking source. Isn't that right? Jello Pala. Day's getting long here on the east coast of North Carolina, but over there in Oregon, it is still mid-afternoon. DC comes up next, and DC does not get any excitement. No joy here, unfortunately. keep looking at a couple of the reverses here. And then once I can get out of the thought of doing it, we'll stop. Got 4 more rolls to get through this week. I think I'm going to do 3 tonight. An additional 2 from what we're doing now. So 3 tonight and 2 tomorrow. Not see anything on the mint mark there. The eyeballs. Got nothing going on. And Liberty has nothing going on, so that's nothing for Stan. Moving on to next one will be Farm Dog. And Farm Dog has appears to maybe be a different die than what I've been seeing so far. That gives us a chance, maybe. And looks like chance is busted. We don't have anything on that one. How about number 14 here? Joe McBride. Oh, there's another one of those. So this one is a split upper serif. Nice little split in the upper serif right there. You can see the notch at the top of the serif. Another thing that we can use as a bit of a marker for this is that little die crack, that little tiny die crack that goes from the 9 straight to the split in the D. I think we have a little bit of, yeah, we've got lower serif doubling on this one, so this is not the same die that we have been seeking so far. So this is a second different die variety, an RPM this time. That is a die gouge or die scratch in front of the eye. And so with that little marker, we can move on and find companions for Joe's coin. Let's see what we have next. Sloppy Stacks. And Sloppy Stacks, we'll get one of the majority coins in the roll, a normal one. Number 16, Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton. What do we get for Paul Hampton? That's one of those early die state ones with that die scratch next to the D mint mark. Right here, we've seen this die a few times. A couple of times so far. Didn't have anything on it, but we're still looking for any struck through errors or big catastrophic anomalies. Let's do coin number 17. How does that sound? Chubby Pop Chaser. Let's see what Chubby Pop Chaser gets. It's not the same die as that last one, but we can definitely mark this one with that big giant curved die scratch down at the very point of the vest. That's kind of a unique little thing that we probably won't see again. Snowing in Minnesota? No way. It's snowing in Minneapolis. Joe, you're getting snow. Another Paul Hampton here. Let's see if we get anything for Paul Hampton in this coin. Nope. Also, another place that I look on the 1954 is underneath over here. Sometimes the 4 will be doubled right over here, and that's something to watch for. They are out there somewhere. IT, good evening, Bethlehem. All right, here goes one for DC. That's going to be kind of one of our later die state lazy coins. Got nothing going on. Yeah, nothing there. Got a nasty line of thunderstorms moving through Michigan right now, right through the center of the peninsula. The lower peninsula, of course. Through the middle of the state, you might say. This is another one of those really pretty earlier die state coins, but the only really good thing about early die state is they will show you very quickly if you've got something going on. They will also show you very quickly that you have nothing. Unfortunately, the latter is the case with this. We have nothing. Taco John. Taco John. Taco John gets one of the first style of upper split serifs that we were looking at. I'm going to zoom in on this one, take a good quick look at it because, well, we're not finding a whole lot else, so we may as well spend a little bit of time looking at something that is good. Let me increase my lighting just a little bit to light that up really well. And you can very clearly see that we have a split in the upper serif, doubling right there on the upper serif. That is an RPM, repunchment mark. All right, so I'll zoom back out so we're not looking at it on the molecular level. Knock our lighting back down so we're not overflashing everything. And continue our move toward the end of the roll. One coin closer to the end of the roll, and this one for Taco John. Coin number 21, our first different type of RPM, matches up with one that Carl got. So Carl and Taco are together as coin brothers. IT. Bethland, you're up next. What does IT get? Oh, we've seen this one. We've seen this die a couple of times before. One thing that immediately brings me in on this die is that little horn-looking thing right up there on the top of the D, that isn't anything. It's part of the die scratching that's going on in that area of the obverse, but this right here kind of wakes me up to the fact that we're getting that die again. We've done that die, I think, 3 times now. Maybe 4. Coin number 22. One and done. Let's get up to 23 now. Dan McCumber gets this one. Mr. Dan. How about a washed out, very late die state 1954 D? How unfortunate. But you gotten good stuff before, you've gotten bad stuff before, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. This is a very late die state coin for the obverse. We can't necessarily call the whole coin a very late die state because we'd have to look at the reverse as well. Coin number 24, back to Carl again. Let's see if Carl gets greedy on us. Nope. I find nothing for him now. I'm going to get my lighting down closer. That's what makes it look very impersonal. I know that's a weird word to use here, but it's the word I like. So, very impersonal. There we go. I like to have everything nice and lit up just right. What are we talking about? You're cool with what? Oh, the L on rim? I'm not really sure I understand what you're talking about. But that's okay. I don't necessarily need to know. I mean, as long as you guys are entertaining yourselves, it's less for me to worry about. I could just go through the coins. Don't really have to continue the effort to have the bubbly personality. Now everybody knows I like doing it. So when I do have a chance to come on, and I don't have power problems, I don't have wifey problems, I don't have doggy problems, and I'm not having mental problems because of the weather, wifey, or the dog, then I like doing reveals. And, well, wifey is on vacation right now. She's out. Austin is at work. The dog is asleep. So I'm all by myself. All by my own lonesome. I'm going to do something about this. I'm just not liking the lighting angle of attack that we're getting here. So we are going to make an effort to see this get a little bit better. Let's see if that makes it any better. I think we ought to be okay here. Need to get in focus, though. A little bit better focus. Okay, I think we're okay now. Sometimes it takes me a few tries to get the lighting just right, and that's because one coin it works, the next coin it doesn't. I've got to find something that's kind of an average in the middle of everything. 227. Coins and ghouls. Got to start finding more good coins. We've had a not so great experience the last few rolls. This is a little minor split lower serif. I don't know that we're going to be able to count it, but I will pull it out and I will stick it in its own little pile next to the other RPMs. Eric will get a chance to give this one special attention, take a look at it, and see if it's something that we've already got listed. If it is, we'll go ahead and do it. If we don't, he'll have to make a determination as to whether this coin is nice enough to list, and if he, well, decides it is, he'll list it and get you a plate coin. Otherwise, you're going to see your package come back with normal coins only, which gives you the answer in not so nice a way. James Valley, I do believe you're paid up. I think you are. Number 29, on to Mark Thomas. What's Dr. T get? Yeah, got nothing going on there, unfortunately. Let's keep a looking around. See what we can get out of this roll, if anything. I don't know if we have any people in northern Indiana or southern Michigan right now. That's another one of those with that little horn sticking up out of the northeast corner of the mint mark that is not a part of another mint mark. So no RPM here, no double die here, no, not really nothing here. Who is it that we have that does come from northern Indiana? Somebody we have comes from northern Indiana. Now, right now, I can't remember who it was. There's another one. Same die. Same die pair. Yeah, it's not Dirty Water. He's from up Mass. Hello, Dirty Water. Stanley's up next. Let's see what Stan gets. Oh, look at that. Okay, I may have seen this before in this roll, and I'm not 100% certain whether I have, so we're going to hold this one out, and let me see if I can figure out how to get it to show up best. I guess it shows up best just like this. If you look at this carefully, you'll see that you've got a split upper serif and a split lower serif, but the split upper serif actually has just a little bit of vertical pull stuck to it. So you've got this coming out, that's the this serif here comes down to here, and this serif up here comes down to here. So you do definitely have an RPM here. The repunchment mark of the roll goes to Stan Horn. All right, let's see what we got coming up next here. The coin vault. We'll see what the coin vault gets. Yeah, it's another one of those pretty simple later die state coins. No variety to be seen here. That's number 33. Now number 34. Go to Doug. And for Doug, let me get you out of the way. There we go. Another one of the late die state coins that we're not going to be able to pick any real die variety out of. Nothing there. Wow. We got a severe thunderstorm warning about 25-30 miles away from an ice storm. We have some goofy weather on this planet right now. That's up in Michigan, I believe. Yep, north of Lansing, Michigan. You've got storms headed through town, going to the northeast, and then about 30, 40, 50 miles north of you, the temperature lowers to the point where they're having ice, an icing issue. You usually don't have convective thunderstorms anywhere near where you have ice. But in this particular case, it seems to be the truth. This is another double split serif RPM. I don't recognize it, but I do see that it is one. So we are going to be able to put this one aside with the remainder of the RPMs. I'm telling you right now that we've got some things going on in the weather that is really should be waking people up. This weather is getting strange. Strange things indeed. And waking up, what do I mean by that? I mean that we are killing our environment to the extent that our weather is not controlled by nature anymore. I've seen thunder snow. That's pretty cool. What it basically means is that you're getting really heavy snow, because heavy snow causes friction in the environment, and that friction lights up and becomes lightning, and you get lightning, convective lightning in the middle of a thunderstorm that has snow in it. That's nuts. I've seen it once. A lot of people never get to see it, so I'm lucky that I got to see it once. That was a little minor RPM for Sissy. Student meeting. All right, Mark. Have a great evening, sir. And I will talk to you later. There's a 1954D that has that abrasive die wear. Basically, it's an older die wear that starts to show on the outside edges of the lettering, especially the last digit of the date. This is the same effect that you get with the 1955 Poor Man's Double. The only difference is those are actually watched a little more closely by some people, simply because there is a real double die for 1955 that people were finding these, thinking it was the real double die until they were told differently. And so it became the worthless doubling called the Poor Man's Double. I've seen lots of double rainbows. They're cool, though. You get really heavy rain near sunset, and it gets on the other side of you, and you'll have a rainbow that lights up like no other. You'll actually see a second rainbow, and between the two rainbows, this is the same die again, between the two rainbows, you'll see that the sky looks just a little bit darker than it does on the outside edges of the rainbows. It's an amazing thing what happens on Earth because of its spacing, its distance, its weather cycles, the number of bands that we have on the planet. There's a lot of things that go into why the weather on the Earth is the most unique weather, really, that we have in the solar system. It's a good thing we don't live on Jupiter. They're constantly getting storms. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. Another little double split serif RPM. Split up or split lower. This got the hump above the 5, so we've seen this one before. But yeah, so you get to a point where on Jupiter, if you're not underground, which there is no ground anyway, but if you're not theoretically underground, you're going to be blown away by the storm, because those storms have winds over 1,000 miles an hour. Poor man's double. How embarrassing. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. But that's what some people call it, so I still call it that. Here's another one of them. I still call it that because, well, it is. I mean, it's poor man's double. It's not a double die. I will not call it the poor man's double die like some other people do. I don't want people to think it is a double die or has anything to do with hub doubling, because it does not. But people call it the poor man's double. I prefer that be the terminology that we use henceforth, because we are educated and we know a little bit more about things than we did back in the 50s. You see another example of that double split serif RPM with the hump above the 5. That is actually a dent in the die. Not really sure what caused it, but I can tell you it's not highly common. One for Joseph. That's McBride. Joseph with an M. Here we go for a shiny coin guy. Let's see what shiny coin guy gets. Well, number 45. The coin vaults. Let's see what we get for the coin vault. Nothing on that one either. As soon as I get finished with this, I'm going to flip over and do the second one. Then I'm going to do the third one. We're just going to have a little marathon here until we get finished. We will be switching shows in between because I have to stop and start my broadcast with each one. What's the word for it? What's the word for it? Chucky loses his words because Chucky's getting old. Right, well, we still have a lot of coins to go through Coin Vault. It's not over yet. It's not over till the fat lady sings. And nothing special here. So, we continue to move on. That was for Sissy. And even though the coins don't look so wonderful under the microscope, they do look decent elsewise. I mean, nothing high value gradable, but look at that. Nice little double split serif RPM with the dot above the 5. That is definitely going to be placed as one of the markers if it's not already, because that is a very nice marker. So that one goes to Chubby Pop Chaser. Coin number 49 for Nana Stacks. And Nana gets one of our nice little double split serif RPMs. This one's a pretty nice one. So that's going to work. Getting good stuff right here at the end of the roll. It's always a good way to sign a roll off, right? Who is number 50? But Mr. McBride gets number 50, and Mr. McBride will get... It is one of the minor double split serif RPMs with the hump above the 5. So, this coin joins the club with the others. Looks like a total of about 12 to 14 coins. Let me count them up and see exactly how many there are. I did not necessarily keep these separated by die because there are too many different dies to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was correct at 12. What, did somebody say something wrong? Mr. McCumber? Who confused whose mix? I did? What did I say? I call him Dan McBride? I couldn't have. No way. I know Mr. McBride from Mr. McCumber. Oh, man. I am getting old then. Saying crap I don't even know I'm saying. Folks, I tell you what, I'm going to have to take a little bit of a break here. Get me a drink of water and come back for the next reveal. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you then.